Joyce Bailey has been an artist for as long as she can remember. She taught art at a vacation Bible school class for younger children when she was just 10. It seemed only natural for her to study art. She's got a bachelor's degree from Butler Institute of American Art, a master's from Tulane, and a doctorate from Yale.
This is a painting I'd like to start with, to focus on,
Okay.
so you can understand how I work. I was a school teacher in New Orleans. I taught in the streets of New Orleans. I took my students through the French Quarter. We rode the buses, we rode the trolley car. We wanted to get the feeling of New Orleans. While I was there, a hurricane happened. And it was called Hurricane Katrina.
Oh, yes.
When Hurricane Katrina came, they disallowed any preservation of pets or animals. And this is Pretty Boy. Pretty Boy lived in this French Quarter. He lived in a tree house. Look at his beautiful tree house. And he has some friends he was going to save. You see those little eyes down there? He's going to save his friends from this hurricane because they all know they can't be sequestered in a controlled place.
Now, did Pretty Boy have that name before you met him?
No.
He got it from you.
Pretty Boy, the name of this painting is C'est accuse. I accuse you. I accuse you. You won't save me. Look at this. And I focused on his eyes. Now, John, I'm going to ask you. Go over here to this corner and you watch his eyes and you follow those eyes all the way across the room.
All right,
And he accuses you. Now, he'll follow his eye. Watch his eyes will move. They'll follow you. Wherever you go in this room, he will follow you.
Oh, yeah, he is. You started in art real young, I know that. I read that your first art class where you taught, you were 10 years old at was it a summer camp?
It was a vacation Bible school.
Yeah. But what was your inspiration so young to become so enthralled with art and painting?
I didn't think it was unusual. I was a farm girl.
Okay.
Every time we had to work in the cornfields, I don't know if you know what a corn field feels like on the child's arm when they're 12 years old. It scrapes your arm, it scratches your arm. You have to recognize it. This is something. This is something new to you.
I've detasseled corn.
You detasseled corn? Okay.
July day.
You're a farm boy? You know it.
I'm not a farm boy, but in the summer we all went and detasseled corn or picked tomatoes for H.J. Hines.
Yes. Or the green peas with the fat bugs on them.
Yeah.
They got under your thumb. This was my life.
So you grew up on a farm.
I grew up on a farm. I grew up with a very harsh father who thought girls could do just as much as boys and lift as many bags, and I couldn't. But it was a contact sport, let's put it that way.
Growing up in your house?
Yeah, it was.
Did you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I did. I had 2 brothers and my sister and I. 4 children.
Yeah.
But it was sort of natural. I mean, nature was part of your life.
Yeah. So how did you start? I mean, was it with crayons or drawing in the dirt?
Mud. I'd start here, in the field. I'd start in the field. And those big bugs, those big fat bugs, I'd follow them around, And the local store wanted to sell some new bread that the woman was making. So my mother said, Joyce, make a poster. Put the bread. Get the recipe. Put it. One thing led to another. Excuse me. One thing led to another. It was just a natural sport for me.
Yeah.
My sister didn't draw, my brother didn't draw, my brothers did not draw. But what I really was interested in was education. It was fascinating to me how you could learn and how there would be repositories of knowledge that I could go read. All I had to do was learn to read.
Yeah.
I was fascinated by education and by the opportunities.
Okay. Receiving it.
Yes, yes, having the opportunity for that. And all the books I could read, all I had to do was learn the words, pronounce them, and learn the meaning.
Somehow that doesn't seem like a typical child to me.
No?
I didn't appreciate the fact that I was getting education. I got the education because I knew this is something you're supposed to do.
Yeah, yeah. Well, but I think you have curiosity too. I see that in you. That you do have a curious side.
So I asked you earlier, when do you name? Like, that's Pretty Boy. When do you name a painting? They all have names. Is it the thought before you even touch the canvas, or when does it happen?
Very good question. It comes it comes out of the painting. The painting tells me its name. I work on it. These bromeliads, for example, I saw them blowing in the wind. Some are stronger than others. Some bend over. Some have more authority. And I just studied them a little bit. And I decided I would give them badges of authority according to what they did in the composition. And I dressed them up with headbands, with headdresses. There is only a slim suggestion of them being there. But I wanted them to have a place in this composition. They're moving, they're close to each other, they're brilliant. Now, you know, these start as little things. They're maybe a few inches. And what I have to do, I've had to borrow some ideas from my Renaissance friends and make up little blocks. These are all like inch blocks. I make a grid pattern on the canvas. If you take all the stuff off the canvas, if you go down to the bare canvas, you're going to see my marks. They're like inches. And then I follow the grid pattern, just like the Renaissance guys did. I figure that, you know, they worked it out. Why can't I just use theirs?
You like big art too, don't you?
I like big art. I like big ideas because they help the small enlarge and present themselves. You never see that. You walk out there, you never see that.
Is this an Aztec back here?
Boy, you're close. You're close. That's Tlaloc. That's Tlaloc. He's the rain god. And I'm gonna. Oh, this is what you're gonna love. You're gonna love this.
Okay.
Okay, Tlaloc. You've been among the gritty confines of pre-Columbian art, so you know what goes on in the nitty-gritty. Okay. This is a very special portrait, and God forgive me for making it so complicated, but it's true, and you know this. You know this. In Oaxaca, they have a language called Mixtec. It's a pictorial language. And they talk by symbols. They talk by symbols. The symbols have sounds.
Okay.
Okay? Now, this is their codex. Their codex means book, you know, in Latin. That one up in the corner, that's taken right out of their book. The book I showed you when we came in, Codex Borgia.
Yeah.
And
where did
that's his name, Tlaloc.
Where did this piece come from?
He's a colonial piece. He's right there.
Yeah.
I got him in Mexico.
Okay.
I got him in Texas, as a matter of fact. It was shipped over from Mexico.
That's cool.
Western Mexico.
Have them
And he's Tlaloc, see? And above him is Geronimo.
Is that charcoal?
It's India ink. It's India ink and water. And naturally I would extend my interest to the American Indian, but this is when he becomes a show figure. He's nothing, to us. His culture is nothing. See those badges he has? They gave him his badges. They don't mean anything. So what I try to do, especially with his eyes, is show his dignity, but how he's lost everything. He's lost everything.
Good evening, and I'd like to thank Crystal Hart.
We now go back in time, the year 2006, the place, a New York City art gallery.
Award-winning exhibition. Amsterdam Whitney Gallery is located on 25th Street between 10th and 11th Avenue in the epicenter of Chelsea, the international art district of the world. With Joyce Bailey. Now, Joyce, where are you from?
I'm from Estero, Florida. That's between Naples and Fort Myers, for those who are not up on their geography.
Tell us about this painting. What's its name?
This is called Avant Garden, and it is a study of the bleeding heart vine, which is very popular in this country, in the southern areas of this country. And the way
Explain what the bleeding heart vine. Tell me a little bit about
bleeding
that.
heart vine. It's a multiple blossom that drops down a lot of flowers. And this doesn't look like it at all. It just inspired an abstract version of it to entertain my collectors, who are the most important people in my business. And what I wanted to show you is that I work with transparencies. I try to build up from the background. I start in the background and I build up layers and layers of paint. Very thin, it's called glazing. And this gives the painting a luminosity because the light is trapped in those layers. But you have to be very careful. The paintings take a long time because you have to let it dry between layers, all right? And you see that big form up in the upper right-hand corner? That's the dominant form in the painting. This is a smaller version of that. And that one is getting a lot of light. You can see the light's reflected off of it. It has shadow underneath. And here, the light is coming through. It's the same form, smaller size. The light is coming through, so it distorts the magenta color to an orange, you see? So there's a lot of vibrancy and a lot of interplay among the forms in the painting. Now that's what I want the viewer to see. I want them to enjoy the painting. And this is a type of painting that hugs you every day. It's a virtual hug. People like the colors, but they also like the interplay of the forms. You see here the small forms that are aspiring to the size, you see? And they're still in the shadow, they're still reaching out for light, but they all contribute to the life of the painting. And just as a little fanfare at the top of the painting, I put in some seed pods. They're little seed pods, like they have fur on them. They're different texture. They move in the woods and in the wind. And you see the highlight is on the top and not the bottom. So that means the light is coming down, flooding over the top of these very soft seed pods.
Light's very important to you.
Absolutely, because that changes the color. And this painting, I'll guarantee, changes with the light. When you see it in the morning, it has one aspect. By midday, it has another aspect. And then at night, you have another surprise.
And at Amsterdam Whitney, we have a whole new aspect.
Thank you, Krista. You're just great.
Now we're in the bedroom. That's Barnum Bailey Circus over the bed. Art everywhere, even her clothes.
It's beautiful, yep. Their clothes is beautiful.
I'm getting your beautiful dress too.
Video in a dewdrop.
Huh. You do photography also?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had some cameras. I had some different cameras, and I studied photography. And
You did a lot of studying.
I did. It's because I'm so ignorant. You know, I really.
Now, what's this?
If you have a lot to learn, these are some other things I just hand out. You know, experiments, try it out, see how people think about it. But
How many books have you written?
oh, I don't know, 20. The major book that I wrote, it was funded by the National Endowment of Humanities. It was a $300,000 grant, and it was international. And the idea was we would work together. It's right here. If you go to Library of Congress and you want to study art of the ancient cultures of Western Hemisphere, you got to look up archaeology. We changed that. We changed it to arte pre-Columbian. Pre-Columbian art. There's now a category in the Library of Congress. You know, you don't understand how big this is. when we change a category in the Library of Congress, it's big. And it took all of us to do it. It took 3 volumes.
And these are them?
Yep, here they are. And they're online. They're online. They're available to everybody. There's no secrets here. And what we did, we went through all the archaeology. We went through all the history. And we took out the books that had anything to do with art. Mm-hmm. And this was done at Yale. It was the first book ever printed by mechanical means.
My goodness sakes. I think you've had an exciting life.
That's very kind of you.
Would you agree it's been a long career?
I guess so.
Have you ever had a painting that when you got done, you liked the painting so well, you said, I am not going to sell this painting?
Only one. Pretty boy.
Oh, okay.
Only one. I believe in nature. I believe in nature. I could never figure it out. I could never figure out how it comes to the conclusions that it comes to, and I try to paint. But it's real, and it's not taken seriously enough. Mm-hmm. You know, it's kind of a natural process, but it's real, and it's alive, and it means something to us.
Well, some artists, they paint what they think people would want or what they think people would buy. But I hear you saying something different. I hear you seeing something and you want to send a message.
Yes, yes. It's from nature. It's from nature.
Yeah.
It's really not from me. I try to understand what I'm seeing and maybe what I'm being told. Not that I believe in God, but not that He talks to me all the time. There are various ways of relating spiritual ideas, in my view. Mm-hmm. And nature is one of the strongest relationships that we have.